Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and it is the 6th of February. Another week, another Monday, right? Good to have you with us on the show. We've got your HCC news and information coming up. We'll talk about jobs. That's right. Jobs as well as mental health. We can all use that on a Monday. My co-host this morning is Dr. Nicholas Cox, the History Department Chair here at HCC. Good to see you, Nick.
Good morning, Todd. Good morning. Thank you.
Did you have a good weekend? Things going well? It seemed to, the weather got a little bit warmer. Last week, it was very un-Houston-like when we had all that cold weather, but we seem to be back on track now, at least some normal Houston winter weather.
That's right. I was grateful for the sunshine on Saturday and the cool weather. My son is a high school percussion player, and we spent a lot of time in parking lots moving instruments around from trucks to rehearsal spaces to performance spaces and back. So the better the weather, the nicer the event for me.
Well, we've got, it's good to have you back on the show. We've got another week ahead of us here at HCC. Oh, and by the way, Nick, we also should mention, I believe second semester starts today, right?
That's right. We'll have more details about that in the announcements at the end of the class, but at the end of the
end of the show.
End of the show today. Yeah, I'm used to saying end of the class.
Yeah,
but that's right. Second start begins on the 13th. So students have about a week if they have classes in that term that they'd like to take. This is the week to sign up.
Okay, so they got one more week to do that. We'll get to that later in the show. Okay, we want to thank everyone watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're here just about every morning, every weekday morning, live at 10 a.m. when HCC is in session. But Nick, they can also catch us in social media and on HCCTV as well.
That's right. We're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page and on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Okay, Nick, you're going to be talking about jobs, helping our students find jobs. And we're joined now by James Mable. He is the Director of Career and Job Placement Services. James, always good to see you.
The same, Todd. Good morning.
So I know you're all about helping our students find jobs. We're going to talk about that shortly. So stick around. We're going to be with you in about 10 minutes. Okay. All right, we're going to kick things off. Mental Health Monday. One of our favorite guests joining us this morning, talking about something we could all use, relaxation. That's right. How do you relax? We're all like tight as a drum these days. We're getting out of a pandemic. We're trying to, blend back into the workforce, whatever that looks like. And, oh, by the way, people are getting sick right and left. So how do you relax? Well, Dr. Sean Fitzpatrick is joining us right now. And Sean is the Executive Director of the Jung Center of Houston. He is our Mental Health Monday guest. Welcome back to the show, Sean.
Thank you for having me back. Very happy to talk about this.
Well, last time we talked, I think the holiday season was upon us. It was crazy. This was the weirdest holiday season I've ever gone through, but it was a strange year. Now we're back, and it seems like everybody's like, I need another vacation, Now a lot of people are getting sick too, not necessarily COVID, but boy, this flu season seems to be horrible, flu and cold season. Yeah. So the question is, what do we do to relax nowadays? I mean, we're in February. We should be relaxed, right? What's going on here?
Right. Well, I have a lot of feelings about it. One of them is just the ways in which the holidays often are not relaxing. They're set up for us ostensibly to step away from the structured stresses in our lives, but we often end up stepping into other stresses in our lives, right? And our family circumstances and the busyness of trying to connect, and then also the complex feelings many of us often have over the holidays. So I know that in my life, in my employees' life, often people come back from a break not feeling completely refreshed. I think, the word relax, we should start with the word relax, right? So relax literally means to loosen again, right? That lax means to loosen. And one of the things that I want to call our attention to is just that it implies that there is some point at which we were loose to begin with. To your point, there are a lot of stressors and things that are happening to us in the world that cause us to get tight. And if we never have the opportunity to loosen, then we are burdening ourselves with effects to our bodies that can open ourselves to the illnesses that you're talking about. I mean, ultimately, we experience stress in the body, and it will have a cumulative effect.
And, you talk about relaxing, your muscles tighten. I know like when one of the worst things for me is when I go on a long drive because, my back starts hurting because I'm tense, watching the road. And, it's like you get finished the drive and you're just worn out, even though you didn't walk anywhere. You drove 100 miles, but that's how it, I guess you could go get a massage to work these things out.
Yeah.
But what are some of the things what's some of the practices you could do to help with the relaxation process?
Yeah. So I'm going to zoom right in and then back out a little bit. So the very first, I love massages and it's wonderful to be able to get a massage. However, it's not all of us can afford them.
Yeah.
There aren't enough massage therapists in the world to help us all if we all had the resources. So we want to focus on what we ourselves can do. And it all starts with breath. And I'll just tell you a little bit why. So we have a sympathetic nervous system. We also have a parasympathetic nervous system. And our sympathetic nervous system, one of the activities that it regulates is our response to stress. So if there's something that changes suddenly in the environment, if there's a threat in the environment, automatically, we don't think about it, our bodies change. They move into a posture of readiness. And that ultimately always looks like tension, right? So if we are getting ready to fight, our muscles are tensing up. But if we're getting ready to run away, our bodies are snapping into action, or even just holding ourselves still. Like you say in the car, like we're holding ourselves still, that involves muscle tension. So that's all the function of the sympathetic nervous system. We also have a part of us that allows us, the parasympathetic nervous system, that unwinds that. And the place where it starts is in our breath. We can draw our attention to our breath. The great Harvard physician, Dr. Herbert Benson, back in the 70s, told us that in addition to these other responses, these tensing responses, we also have a naturally wired relaxation response. And it comes down to allowing yourself to breathe deeply from your diaphragm.
And I mean, so it's more than just a phrase where you tell somebody just breathe. Right. There's a lot more to that because it does bring something into your body and you are just pausing for a moment. I guess, is that the thing with relaxing? We just got to learn how to breathe and pause.
Yes. So again, starting here, I have a quick technique that I can teach you that you can do. Anybody you can take anywhere and do anytime. It just involves remembering the number 4. This is something called box breathing. And all we want to do is allow ourselves to breathe in and pay attention to our diaphragm, right? We want to allow ourselves to breathe from our bellies on a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we hold it for a 4 count. And then we let it out on a 4 count, exhale. And then we leave ourselves empty on a 4 count. That cycle, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see it's shaped like a box, right? That cycle activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It tells our bodies that the threat is past, it's okay to relax. And it loosens, right? It allows those muscles to loosen and come back to a normal state.
Are these, obviously these techniques you're talking about, the Jung Center I know is available and you have classes. Do you guys have talks or classes about relaxing and meditating?
We do. And we actually, the Jung Center has its Mind, Body, Spirit Institute, which is specifically focused on this. We're led by Alejandro Chaul, who is MD Anderson Cancer Center faculty and is a Tibetan Buddhist scholar and practitioner. And also core part of his faculty is Ann Friedman, who is a psychologist who is deeply trained in mindfulness and compassion. And that you can take classes from them and many other instructors here at the Jung Center, and also encounter us out in the community because we do a lot of work with nonprofit organizations, educational contexts, businesses, and medical contexts as well. Yeah.
I know you also have art exhibitions. I was at one of them at the Jung Center a couple of months ago for opening night. Yeah. Do y'all currently have any installations now?
We do. We have a fantastic photography show by Kitty Rabinow, and Kitty is a really gifted photographer. And I have to say, I had a very fun moment as she was installing. The director of the Menil collection here in town was standing there. She had she had Rebecca holding one of these pieces up on the wall to get the right angle on it. And I was startled, of course, realized immediately that Rebecca is actually her daughter.
Wow.
So she had the arts leaders in the community helping her get this up and running.
Just happened to be her kids, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Sean Fitzpatrick, he's the executive director of the Jung Center of Houston, our Mental Health Monday guest. Sean, it's always great to see you. We can't say enough good things about the Jung Center. We're going to put the information, social media, and website in our post after the show so people can find you and check out all the good things you have going on.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Todd.
Thanks, Sean. Take care of yourself.
You too.
All right, we're going to turn things over to Nick, who's also got a special guest talking about jobs for our students.
Thank you, Todd. Today, we're going to talk to James Mable, Director of HCC's Career Services and Jobs Placement. Welcome to the show, James.
Good morning, Nick. Thanks so much for having me.
Certainly. All right, so students are back in class. Actually, today's week 4. We're in week 4 of the regular term, but soon students will be focused on finding jobs. Let's talk about the career fair season. Where can students or employers register for career fair events?
So both students and graduates of HCC, as well as employers, can view our career fairs in HCC Career Hub. HCC Career Hub is where career and job placement services manages our business process. Every student has a profile in HCC Career Hub. It's the same username and password they would use for Canvas and other HCC features and systems. They would log into that system, be able to view all 15 career fairs that we have planned this semester, and employers as well. Employers can view those events and register for those events, which start next week and will end at the end of April.
And those 15 fairs that are scheduled for this semester are all across the city. Some of them are online or in person, both modalities?
These career fairs are in person across the board, but we do have partnerships with employers to host virtual info sessions. So we do have some of those going on, and we're making students aware of those sessions. And we have some employers that are coming not just to the career fairs face-to-face, but requesting recruiting booths and in-person info sessions. So we're facilitating a variety of modalities in regards to connecting our students with employment opportunities.
All right. Well, whether the event is in person or virtual, give our students some advice about what they should wear.
We think it's very important when students go to career fairs that they dress to impress, that they're coming in business casual. Maybe it's a collared shirt, maybe it's a blouse with a skirt or slacks, if you will. This is what we recommend in order for the student to really stand out and show the employer at that career fair that they're serious about connecting with that employer. They're serious about what that employer has to share about internship and job opportunities. And if students do not have professional attire, they can schedule an appointment with career services in their Career Hub accounts. And we have partnerships with Career Gear and Dress for Success, and both of those organizations help students get free professional attire. So when they go to career fairs, they're dressed to, appropriately. And when they go to interviews, they have what they need to be successful in the interview as well. So we really encourage students to schedule appointments with us so we can get them that professional attire they need.
Okay, excellent. That's good. That's good for students to know. So anybody on the sort of career fair side of things knows that a resume plays a key role in a student's success when looking for a job. Do students need to bring resumes to the career fairs?
COVID has disrupted so many norms. Mm-hmm. And after COVID, we saw a lot of students come to the career fairs with the plan, obviously, to network and connect with employers, but they didn't have their resume. And even in this highly digitized environment, as far as the job search, we still think it's important for students to bring a paper resume, because you're going to have a great conversation with that employer. You've done your research about what they have to offer. You're coming in and they want to know more about you. And one way to really solidify that connection is to have that takeaway. And from the employer standpoint, it's a great conversation and it's your resume. That employer may want to follow up with you about an opportunity that they have and they need your contact information. And so your resume has that. And as well, your resume has the experience that you possess and, obviously the other skill sets you possess as well. And so it's important for you to bring the resume, multiple copies of your resume to an HCC career fair. So that employer has that great takeaway. They can follow up with you and set up an interview with you.
Well, now, before a student or a job seeker attends a job fair, does HCC's Career Services provide resume workshops to help them create these resumes that they should be bringing?
Yes, we provide resume workshops online or face-to-face, but we really encourage students to schedule appointments with us. And we have various modalities as far as how they can schedule appointments with us. We can meet with them over the phone. We can meet with them via Teams or WebEx. We can also meet with them in person in the Career Center. And so we encourage them to come in or meet with us online to sit down with us and talk to us about their job search, about their plans after HCC, and to really get that resume ready for prime time before they start attending the career fairs. We highly recommend that a student is strategic and schedules that appointment with us as soon as possible to go over their resume.
Well, I have a question for you, James. I think that most recently I heard that most students at HCC have a job, whether it's part-time or full-time. They're doing school in addition to working. So they're very busy people. If they already have a job, why might participating in a resume workshop at a job fair serve their future goals?
That's a huge conundrum because you're right. Most students at HCC are working. They're paying their way to go to school. And they're like, look, I'm already working right now. I'm working on my classes. I'm not graduating yet. Why would I go to a career fair? I'm not at the point to really transition. And I highly recommend for students to be proactive and take initiative and to think ahead. That the reality is, just like the job that they possess right now, it took a little bit for them to land that job and to have that job that provides for them and their families. But the jobs that, they will see, the employers that they will see at our career fairs are more in line with their career plans and their career trajectory. We have all majors career fairs where any company from any industry can attend. And then we have industry-focused career fairs, which those industry-focused career fairs are really aligned with HCC's workforce programs. So I want a student to really think about, hey, I should go to a career fair to connect with an employer that's going to hire me to start into an entry-level role in my field. That employer will have tuition reimbursement, so they'll help me pay for school, especially when I graduate and I want to transfer to a four-year institution. So I want them to think ahead about why go to an HCC career fair. We're really wanting to make sure they're set up for success when they're ready to transfer or when they're ready to graduate from their certificate or degree program at HCC. That's why it's very, very important that they're taking initiative and going and networking with these employers semesters in advance, not just waiting until the last semester of college when they need a co-op or internship to complete a program, but months in advance so they can have options at the end of the day. And the latest economic news I saw is that it's still a job seekers market. Employers are hiring left and right. And so this is a great opportunity to get out there and see what's available and go to multiple HCC career fairs to have options at the end of the day.
Well, excellent. And as I understand from what you said a moment ago, some of the job fairs are open to every employer and some are very industry specific. But what are some of the industries or employers that students might expect to see at these job fairs looking for workers?
So first, our career fairs, as I said earlier, there are 15 of them. Mm-hmm. So just about every industry is represented at, whether it's our all major career fairs or it's the industry focused career fairs. For example, we have a medical career fair planned for Coleman College in April. That medical career fair consists of major employers like Harris Health, Memorial Hermann, HCA Healthcare, and others. And any student at HCC that's interested in working in the medical field should go to that career fair at Coleman College. But we also have a welding career fair and so forth, just various industry-focused events. And so to answer your question, though, every industry from construction, retail, hospitality, restaurant management, to IT, to oil field service, like even Baker Hughes, it's a major oil field service company. They have registered for our career fairs, to public safety and law enforcement, to automotive, Across the board, every COE that HCC has, or Center of Excellence, or workforce program that HCC has, is represented at those career fairs through the companies that are registering to attend, and they're ready to connect with students in those programs.
Well, excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much, James. We'll have a lot of links and information in the notes after the show. But I want to just thank you again. This is James Marble, Director of HCC's Career Service and Job Placement. We'll have your info in the post after the show.
Thank you so much, Nick.
All right. Thank you both. We've got some announcements to go over before the end of the show. Congratulations to our League of Innovation winners. HCC colleagues named 2022-2023 League of Innovation Excellence Award recipients are as follows: Margaret Freeman, Dr. Jing's son; Jennifer Vaca, Dr. Zach Hodges; and Ana Maria Lopez. They are recognized for forward-thinking programs and practices. The HCC honorees will receive their national awards during the Tempe, Arizona conference. We'll also invite them on the show very soon. And Dr. Juan Zane Crawford has an announcement as well, or congrats coming his way.
That's right. I'd like to say first, before I offer those congratulations to Dr. Juan Crawford, I do want to highlight Jenny Vaca's selection for an Innovation Excellence Award there. I do not mean this in any way to single her out among the 5 of them, but she does direct our Adjunct Academy, which provides professional development for part-time instructors at HCC, faculty-led, faculty professional development. And as a department chair, I can't emphasize how much I appreciate that program for our part-time instructors. And so to Juan Crawford, he's been appointed the chair of the Houston Symphony's African American Leadership Council. It was formed to better connect the greater Houston Black community to the higher arts, the symphony, the Houston Symphony. And according to Houston Symphony Executive Director John Mangum, Dr. Crawford has been a member of the council since its inception, and with his longstanding dedication to the symphony and deep understanding of the community, Dr. Crawford will be an outstanding leader. So this is great news for local music lovers.
And congrats to him. He's been on the show a few times as well. Okay, Coed Soccer Free Play is coming up. HCC's Rec Sports is offering fun pickup games for men and women at HCC's Stafford campus. They've got some fields out there where you can play a little soccer every Tuesday and Thursday, now through February the 23rd on the Stafford campus. We'll have an email in our post after the show where you can get more information on times and all that stuff. Mental Health 101, that's a free virtual session, and it's coming up Wednesday.
Yeah, this is offered by the National Alliance on Mental Illness and HCC. Provides an understanding of common mental health challenges and symptoms. It'll also discuss statistics related to identification, treatment, and recovery. The session is open to all HCC students, faculty, staff, as well as their circles of support. Check our post after the show to register, but that is, again, on Wednesday, February 8th, virtually from noon to 1:15.
Okay, Healthy Relations Scholarship. We've got something going there. HCC's Counseling Services faculty and OIE are offering 2 Healthy Relationship scholarships. Qualifying HCC students enrolled in spring classes can share their love for art and prose by writing a 500-word essay or creating any piece of artwork. The deadline to turn in your entries, Sunday, April the 9th. You got a little time for that. Check our post after the show for information on submitting. Okay, second start next week. Not this week, but next week, right, Nick?
That's right. As always, we want to keep students updated about upcoming sessions of the semester. Through the spring semester is well underway, HE students can still enroll in the upcoming more intensive spring sessions. Second start starts next Monday, February 13th, and all spring courses are offered in person or online options. We have online anytime, online on a schedule, in person, hybrid, and hybrid labs. To learn more about HCC programs, classes, and sessions, start dates, and options to cover costs, go to hccs.edu/apply.
Okay, later on the show, tomorrow, we've got HCC Central's new community outreach coordinator, who's no stranger to broadcasting. You might recognize him, former newsman himself, Joe Sam, will be here on the show. Also, it will be Tasty Tuesday. And we'll have another presidential visit this week from this time our online college. Dr. Margaret Ford Fitcher stops by virtually, of course, to join the show, and they've got a new thing to announce as well. So congrats to them. A lot going on this week. Nick, always good to see you.
Thank you, Todd, and I'll see you again soon this week, actually.
All right, we'll see you again this week, and we'll see all of you tomorrow morning live, 10 a.m. for Up to the Minute.